So basically in the last session we have started this sample project. Through this sample project we were decided to understand the software in respect of its setting, in respect of its model definition, in respect of actually doing the modeling in this CSI safe software, all the editing commands, basic approach, master approach, modeling option, analysis option, design option, scheduling, detailing option, all that we were planned to discuss along with the completion of this sample project. And in in the light of that objective we are trying to complete this sample project. So basically in the last session we have started the project with doing the basic setting in respect of design codes, in respect of unit system. Thereafter we tried to understand the grids. Okay, how you can have the grid in this CSI safe software for uniform, non-uniform, and after having the grids how you can edit that. Thereafter we have seen how you can set the workspace of this CSI safe software. We have seen that what is the workspace of this CSI safe software and how you can set this workspace of this CSI safe software. And especially for our proposed structure, for our proposed sample project, we were taking the step to have the grids. So as per the definition of the grids we were having the grids in CSI safe software. So up to this level we have completed our work in the last session. Now finally we are going to continue the work. Okay, so the next step after having the grids is to define the material properties. So for the purpose of defining the things as material property, section property, spring constants, or soil subgrade modulus, you can call it to load patterns, load combination, for all that purpose you need to come into the define section. So in define section you need to go to the material properties. Once you click on the material properties, some default material properties, okay, by default some existing properties, some properties will be there. So either you can go with that property or will otherwise you can add your own property, you can add your own properties. So as per our definition, as per our the problem statement, the grade of steel we should use as M20 grade of concrete and Fe415 grade of steel. So that I want to define here. So here two options are there: either you can edit the existing material property or you can add a new property. So firstly I would like to show you how you can add a new property. So just go to add a new material property and India, a region, or for the country for which we are going to deal this project or this sample project as India, material type as concrete first, and standard will be India, and third is your grade. So which grade we should have to choose? M20 grade of concrete. Once you click over the OK, so it will take you inside of the material properties, all sub definitions. So as material name as M20, if suppose you would like to write any other title, so that you can do. But as in our practice is what M20, 25, 20, 30, M30, 35, like that. So we are writing in this way: mixed proportion as the character and characteristic strength as 20. Thereafter rest of all things will be as it is. We don't need to anything. Why? Because in respect of this M20 grade of concrete, all the definitions were going to be set by this CSI safe software. क्या होगा? M20 के रिस्पेक्ट में सारी प्रॉपर्टी यहाँ पर अपडेट हुई है. सो आपको कोई चेंज करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You don't need to do anything. Let it to be as it is. Then if you would like to ensure that whether the proper characteristic strength for this M20 grade of concrete has been considered or not. So you need to go to modify and show material properties. Once you click over that, see here concrete cube compressive strength means the basic means characteristic strength of concrete as 20 MPa Newton per mm square. So that's fine, correct. Let's say okay, then say okay. So one grade of concrete here is what added, but you will say that sir, I don't want to add new, I want to edit this existing one. I don't want to add a new one, I want to edit this existing one. So that also you can do. Then at that time delete this one, delete this one. Now just go to this M30, we have to make it as M20. How you can do that? Just go to modify and show existing property. Once you click on that, now the property of M30 grade of concrete is actually present here. The property of M30 grade of concrete is actually present here. So weight per unit volume 24.99. Actually, what is the density of concrete we are considering? Can anyone tell me? Tell me. The density of the concrete we are normally taking as what? 25. So here it is what given as 24.99. So it is the correct one. Actually we are rounding up this value as 25 for just to remember or to make the calculation as easy. We are taking 25. So both are okay. Mass per unit volume by kg, it is 24, sorry, 2548.538. So actually it is kg per meter cube, 2548.538. So if you would like to convert mass into kilonewton, so the conversion factor is what? 101.97. Conversion factor from kg to kilonewton. Okay, it is what? 101.97, 101.97. So how you can write, how you can take this? So 2548.538 divided by what? 101.97. So if you are going to divide this mass by 101.97, you will get the value in kilonewton. So after doing this, you will get exactly this value. You can check it. Okay, so thereafter what? So we don't need to bother about these two things. These are standard. Either you can choose choosing the M20, M30, M50, M60, whatever the grade of concrete you are going to choose, density will be what? Same. डेंसिटी तो आपका चेंज नहीं होगा, तो यहां पर आपको कोई चेंज करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Whether you are going to create a new property, whether you are going to edit any existing property, यहां पर आपको कुछ भी काम करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You don't need to do any work here. That's it. Now moving ahead, modulus of elasticity. This is the most important. Modulus of elasticity. So as per IS 456-2000, the formula for calculating the modulus of elasticity of your concrete is equal to 5000 square root of FCK. 5000 square root of FCK. So here, as the grade of concrete is M30, so accordingly the value of modulus elasticity has given as 27386.13. Check it. 5000 under root of 30. Let me know what is the answer for M30 grade of concrete. It is right or wrong? It is right or wrong? Yes, it is the right one. But we have to choose the grade of concrete. What? क्या grade of concrete use करना है हमें? What grade of concrete? We are no, not 25. Who said 25? It is 20. So we have to use, so 5000 under root of 20. Now give me the answer. What value is 5000 under root of 20? 22360.67. Very correct. Nagaraj, Amarjit, Shrikant, Aditya, Puttaswamy, all you are correct. Okay, those who are going to write it, writing it. Okay, so yeah, but you don't need to worry about to do the calculation. Firstly, let me correct it by the name as M20. Now here it is what? not you don't need to do the calculation separately. See what to do. Write 5000 shift star means multiplication sqrt inside bracket as what, 20, close the bracket, then enter. Is it right or wrong? 22360.67. Yes. Would you like to see it once more? How to do it? See, easy. No need to write equal to. Okay, simply write 5000 shift star means multiplication sqrt square root inside bracket of what? Inside bracket of 20, enter. Now the value will automatically come, and once you click anywhere on the other cell, automatically rest of all cells are going to be adjusted in respect of E. So I am going to click here, so automatically rest of all values are going to be adjusted. So that's all done. Now go to modify. So it is what, make it a change to as 20, make here as 20. That's it. Then say okay, done. So it is now becoming M20 grade of concrete. Say okay. So it is what changed from 30 to 20, from M30 grade to M20 grade. So in this way you can edit, or I also have explained how you can add a new property. Both we have discussed. Now for the steel existing one, just go to modify this. Sorry, first let try to understand how you can add new steel grade. So add a new material property. It will be India. Instead of concrete, we should have to choose as rebar. Some of you may think that it should be steel. No, steel for the steel section, steel for your mild steel. Okay, so for the purpose of steel structure, for the purpose of mild steel, we are choosing steel. For the reinforcement for RCC, we are choosing it rebar. Choose it as rebar. Once you choose it rebar, then here the option grade as all the grade: mild steel grade 250, high yield deformed steel 415, high yield deformed steel 500, high yield deformed steel as 550. All are actually available, but our concern is to choose Fe 415. So that's why I'm going to change as 415. Then say okay. Once you click over the OK, so as already one property is there, HYSD, so that is what present. Sorry, we have to add new property. So here change the 500, then say OK. So now high yield deformed steel bar as 500 grade of steel. Rest of all definitions will be there, as we are knowing most importantly density of steel. What density of steel you are considering? Tell me. rebar का density क्या consider करते हैं हम लोग? 7850. Very correct, very true. So here same thing is there, but for the ease to remember, for ease to do, so for ease to take in calculation, we are considering it as what, 7850, but actually it is what, 7849.047. But this is what, for our ease we are taking it. So okay, fine. Now modulus of elasticity for steel, 2 into 10 raised to 5. We know very well, many times we have used in our academic time. Okay, 2 into 10 raised to 5 is a steel modulus of elasticity. Now if this is all done, let's just simply say okay. Once you click on the okay, the grade of steel is here, it is going to be what, added. But as you know, we don't need to use Fe 500, so that's why I'm going to delete it as of now. We have to work on this existing Fe415, that high yield deformed steel bar as 415. So we are going to edit this existing one. Just click over that and make it as what, Fe, as our practice is to write as Fe. Then 2000, rest of all things is there. So you will see that what's the problem, we can proceed. So here just go to modify this. So here grade of steel, yield strength 415, ultimate strength 485. So some of the consultants, what they are doing, they are considering the ultimate strength also as same as of the yield strength 415. So that also what, okay. But if you like to go with the like a default one, so that will also be the fine. Okay, 485. So as of now I would like to take as it is. And these two strengths are for non-linear analysis. For non-linear analysis. So don't be bothered about these two items and two options. We just have to limit the discussion for these first two options, yield strength and ultimate strength. Okay, so this is all done. Let's just simply say okay. So in this way, my dear friend, uh, you can define the material properties. Okay, and as we move ahead with our real projects or further practice with this CSI safe software, we will try to see how the different other grids of the concrete and steel can be added and can be changed as per our need and requirement. Okay, so as of now, the part of this material definition is over, so I'm going to click as okay. That's it. Now next, I need to go to define section. I need to go to define section, and here I need to go to the section property. Once you click on the section property, so what different sections we need to define? As we have to model the foundation slab, we have to model the foundation slabs. So we need to model the foundation slabs, means we need to model the slabs for the foundation. Okay, that's one section we need to define area. Then we have to model the column. So two section sizes of the columns are available, so we need to define the column section size. Is there any beam? Tell me, कोई बीम है क्या यहाँ पर? Suresh Naidu, actually it is the sample project, it is the dummy project. Okay, we are just trying to understand the software. ठीक है, सॉफ्टवेयर को अंडरस्टैंड करना है. सो डोंट बी लाइक पैनिक अबाउट why if 415 is there, why if 500 is there, why M20 is there only, why this load is there, why that thing is there. Actually our concern is to understand the software, right Suresh? Understood? ओके, सो मैंने पहले ही कहा है, हम लोगों ने ये सैंपल, दिस इज नॉट द रियल थिंग, दिस इज नथिंग, इट इज नॉट हैविंग एनी रीजन एंड मीनिंग. इट इज जस्ट फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द सॉफ्टवेयर. सॉफ्टवेयर को हम लोगों को अंडरस्टैंड करना है. एंड समथिंग important, timely, if it is coming, I will explain. That will be helpful for you all guys in real practice. जब आगे हम लोग बढ़ेंगे, कुछ कुछ चीजें मैं यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन करता चलूंगा जो कि हमें आगे रियल प्रोजेक्ट में लगने वाली है. So overall objective of this, I earlier told you that objective of taking this sample project is to explain the software. That's it. सॉफ्टवेयर को एक्सप्लेन करना है और कुछ कुछ रियल चीजें भी हम लोग अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे. क्लियर? So don't be panic why this thing is there, why that thing is there. Okay, which is actually related to real decision, actual decision for the real project. तो उसके बारे में आप थोड़ा सा just keep patience. When we go for the real practice, I will explain everything with a proof and like a really dealing with the real example projects. Okay, so don't be panic with this sample project now. So what we are talking about? Yeah, go to define section. Okay, so what to define? We have defined two sections of the column. We need as one section of the column is 230 by 600, another section size of the column is 450 by 450. Second, we need to define two footings. Two footings means two slabs we need to define. One slab of depth 500, one slab of depth 600. So two slabs we have to define, two footings, two slabs we need to define for the foundation slab, and two columns we need to define. Is there any beam? There is no any beam, right? Is there any shear wall? No any shear wall. Is nothing is there. We just have to model this footing slab and column. So for that reason, go to safe. Again, go to define section, and in define section you will find an option of section properties. यहाँ पर क्या आ रहा है आपका? Section properties. So I need to go to the frame section. Once you go to this frame, now try to understand. Safe software having two types of the sections. One is your frame section, another one is your uh, uh, shell section. There are two types of sections are actually available in this safe software as frame section, and another one is your cell section. In another way, for our understanding or for ease to understand, I'm going to make it as line element. I'm going to say it as line element, and for this I'm going to say it as area element. What? हमारे अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए मैंने क्या किया इसको, frame element, and second one is your shell element. Okay, so for that reason, when you go to this section property, so frame section is there, slab section is there, wall section is there, all these different sections are there, frame and shell. So all frame will include your beams, will include your column. This all taken into the frame element. When you would like to model the slab, when you would like to model the, sorry, when you would like to have the slab, when you would like to have the shear wall, so these all we are going to be considered as a what? Shell element or area element. Safe software is going to consider it as what? Area element. Remember this. So as of now, we have to define the column section. So go to define, go to the section property, go to the frame section, and in frame section, some by default sections are actually available. So I would like to select all of them. So here you cannot select, it is by default actually present, we want to delete it. So go to delete multiple properties, select all of this and delete them. Select again this and say delete them. Done. Then say simply say okay. One property will be there anytime. Why? Actually means we cannot keep this space as empty. So one property will always be there unless you are not having another property. जब आप another property भी define कर लेंगे, then you can delete this unnecessarily section property. So ISLB, that is what is still, so don't worry about. We are going to add a new property. Once you click or add a new property, now it is a concrete rectangle of concrete section. Choose this one. Once you click over that, now column, how to write the column? Write as CM. CM stand for column. Likewise, if suppose you are going to define beam, so you have to write the BM. If you would like to define the slab section, then you have to write as SB. If you are going to define the shear wall, then we are normally writing as SW. So it depends on you. So column 230 by, I think 600 is there. Let me check it. First section property. Yeah. Column section is 230 by 600. That I am going to define as 230 by 600. Plus, very important, we are also I am going to write as M20. Why? Actually, the name of the section should be such that by just looking at the name of the section, I can understand most of the thing about this section. Means actually it is the column, or if suppose I am going to draw a one line here. Okay, so to check whether it is column, to check whether it is beam, you have to right click over that and you need to go to the property of this section, and by just looking on the property, then you will come to know whether it is column and beam. So it is very hectic. आपको अंदर जाना पड़ेगा, उसकी प्रॉपर्टी देखना पड़ेगा, सब कुछ. But if I am going to write the name of this element in this way, so tell me, it is needed to go inside? Tell me, अंदर जाने की जरूरत पड़ेगी आपको? Yes or no? No. By just looking at the section label, section name, you can understand whether it is column, whether it is beam. Then if it is column, then what is the size? To see the size, you don't need to go inside. By just looking at the name, you can understand, yeah, it is 230 by 600. Plus you are also going to understand, you are coming to know what is the grade of concrete has been used. Suppose you are going to deal any project where multiple grades are in use. एक ही प्रोजेक्ट में आप M20 भी यूज कर रहे हो, 30 भी यूज कर रहे हो, 40 भी, फॉर एन एग्जांपल. So some sections with M20 grade, some section with M30 grade, some section with M45 M40 grade. तो आपको यहीं से पता चल जाएगा by just looking at the name of the section कि वो section किस material से बना हुआ है. Clear? So this is my practice to write the name of this section. If you are having any other practice, okay, any other approach, because it is not having any role in analysis and design. आपका इसका कोई रोल नहीं है, सिर्फ ये नेम है. आप इसको वन भी दे सकते हो, C1 भी दे सकते हो, कॉलम वन. यू कैन गिव एनी नेम, your choice. Okay, so the reason behind why I have chosen this approach, I have explained that. Okay, next, width of the column is what? 230. Just write it here. Depth of the column is what? 600. That I am going to write here. That's it. Okay, it is a column or beam that will going to be defined from here. कॉलम है तो आपको फर्स्ट चूज करना है, बीम है तो आपको सेकंड चूज करना है. Okay, just go to this. Okay, the section properties, all the areas and all are actually present here. This is all done. It is 230 by 600 section size. It is the column section and is the grade of concrete. Yeah, here from you can choose. Some of the people, those who are new with the software as etabs and safe, they are doing this mistake. What the mistake they are doing? They are choosing it as what? 415. Still they are choosing. Actually make it as what? M20. Here you have to choose the grade of concrete. Don't do the mistake, please. Then say simply say okay. Once you click on the okay, now just go to this, and now this unnecessary property which is present, you can delete this property. Say yes. So column section has been added. Now I want to add a new property. So again add a new property. Go to concrete one and just here write as CM 450 by 450 and M20 grade of concrete. M20 here you have to choose. Rest of all things will be as it is. Okay. Now 230. No, sorry. 450 by, make it as what? 450. That's it. Then say simply as okay. Done. So both of the column sections is now added. I would like to say simply say okay. That's it. Go to the define section, go to the section property, and here I want to add a slab sections properties. So just click over this slab section. Again my dear friend, some default properties are available, so we would like to delete them. Sorry, delete property. Yes, out of two only one is remaining. Then now there is no option to delete it. Why? Because in the list at least one property will be there. You cannot make it as empty completely. So for that reason my dear friend, what to do, just go to okay, you can edit this one or you can add a new one. So I'm going to add, so footing, so that's why I'm going to write as FT footing. What is the size of this, what is the depth of this footing? Actually, while defining the footing, you don't need to write the area and width, length and width. You just have to write the depth of the element. उसकी डेप्थ, स्लैब की हम हमेशा डेप्थ डिफाइन करते हैं. ओके, रिमेंबर दिस. सो डेप्थ इज व्हाट? footing 1 as 500 depth. Okay, so that I am going to define here as what? FT footing 500, M20 grade of concrete, M20. Now important, shell thin, shell thick and membrane. Now try to understand what is the difference between shell thin, shell thick and membrane. So actually before of I think I have the content for that. Let me open that. Okay, firstly try to understand shell thin and shell element and membrane element. So if you are going to talk about the area element, like suppose I am going to take two elements. This is the slab and this is the slab. Okay, so as we are going to consider as the area element. Why we are going to call it as area element? Because the depth of this slab or this plate in comparison of its other two in plan dimensions, right, like width of this and length of this, in comparison of its width and length, depth is very small. That's why we are going to consider as a plate element or area element. First thing. Now two things are there. It is a membrane. Two things are there. One is to consider the membrane and another is to consider the shell element. So in case of the membrane element, we are not going to consider the stiffness of out of plane direction. Now for that reason, try to understand what does mean by the in plane and out of plane. Actually, three directions of each slab you will have. Three directions of each slab will have. That is what? One direction is along its length, one direction is along its length, one direction is along its width, and one direction along its depth. Now, my dear friend, try to understand and let me know the answer. If I am going to apply the load in this direction, so resisting depth is how much? Suppose this is the length is 5 meter and width is what? 3 meter. Tell me, if I am going to apply the load in this direction, so resisting span is how much? Tell me. Yes, please. Very good. Most of you are answering to as a 5 meter. Yeah, very correct. If I am going to apply the load in this direction, so resisting span is what? 5 meter. So it is having some span. So the stiffness of your slab in this direction is very much higher. Now if I am going to apply the load in this direction, so resisting span is of 3 meter or consider as what? 3000 in mm, and it is what? 5000 in mm. So resisting span. Now if suppose I am going to consider the slab, it is what? Of thickness 150 only. Thickness, let's say normal for residential building or residential slabs, we are considered as 120 to 130. So in comparison of its depth, in comparison of its width and length, your depth is very small. So if I am going to apply the load in this direction, so resisting span is only available as what? 120 or 130, which is very small in comparison of other two dimension. So here these two directions, let me show you this direction and this direction. This both directions called as in plan stiffness. This is called as what? In plan stiffness. And it is that stiffness of your plate element along its depth is called as out of plane stiffness. Now it's clear the concept of in plane stiffness and out of plane stiffness. यहाँ तक के clear है? Yes or no? Shubham not getting. Anyone else? Those who are not getting the concept of what I have explained, in plane stiffness and out of plane stiffness. Actually this is not important, but for the further understanding it is very important. आगे बढ़ने के लिए ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगर आपको इन प्लेन स्टिफनेस और आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस नहीं समझेगा तो आगे का फिर डिस्कशन आपके लिए यूजलेस है. सो प्लीज लेट मी नो, are you able, have you got the concept of in plane and out of plane? Shubham, you are having the problem. Deepak asking to repeat, and Shubham is also asking to repeat. Explain again. Sayyad is also asking to repeat. Okay. Okay, no problem. Good. If you are having problem, then without of any fear, ask me to explain it. ठीक है, देखिए समझिए क्या चीज है ये, फिर से मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. इन प्लेन एंड आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस. ओके, सपोज दिस द प्लेट एलिमेंट. It's a plate element. This is my plate element, or you can call it to slab, not plane. If suppose you want to call it to not plane, then you can call it as simple slab. So ये आपका एक slab है, right? Now this slab having the span in this direction as 5 meter. This slab in this direction having the 3 meter. Okay, and this slab is having the depth of 120 mm, sorry, 0.12 meter. So if you are going to consider in mm, it is going to become 3000 mm, it is going to become 5000 mm, and your depth of this slab is going to become 120 mm. क्या बन गया ये 120. Now normally if suppose I am going to apply the load in this lateral direction, so ये लोड को रेजिस्ट करने के लिए आपके पास डेप्थ मींस स्पैन कितना अवेलेबल है स्लैब का? यस शुभम, कैन यू टेल मी? 5 meter, 5000 mm. Okay, just tell me in 5000 mm. So 5000. If I am going to apply the lateral load in this direction, so कितना स्पैन अवेलेबल है इसका रेजिस्ट करने के लिए? Yes, how much the span is available? Aditya, very correct. Shubham, you write first. Shubham. Okay, 3000 mm. Just write in mm. 3000 mm. And when I am going to apply the load in this vertical direction, so resisting depth is available is how much? 120 mm. Clear? Is that all clear? Yes. Now see, this is done. So this direction and this direction is called as in plane stiffness of, इसको क्या कहते हैं हम लोग? In plane stiffness along the width and along the length. This plane, this is going to become one plane. So this plane is called as in plane stiffness, and along the depth is called as out of plane stiffness. जो एरिया बनता है आपका उसको हम लोग करते हैं इन प्लेन, एंड थर्ड डायरेक्शन अलोंग द डेप्थ वी आर गोइंग टू कॉल इट एज आउट ऑफ प्लेन. अंडरस्टूड? समझ में आ गया? शुभम, शुभम अंडरस्टूड? ओके, अभी ठीक है, इतना समझ में आ गया. नाउ अभी आपने पहले आंसर किया इन दिस डायरेक्शन इज हैविंग द 5000 resistance. If I am going to apply the load in this direction, it is having 3000 resistance. So it is overall in plan stiffness of this plate element. प्लेट एलिमेंट का इन प्लान स्टिफनेस ज्यादा होता है. कभी भी हमारा स्लैब जो है दैट मे बी 2 मीटर बाय 3 मीटर, 4 मीटर बाय 7 मीटर, 2 मीटर बाय 3 मीटर बाय 6 मीटर, 4 मीटर बाय 5 मीटर. So always for the case of the slab, what you will get? You will get the in plan stiffness as more or less in respect of out of plane stiffness. Tell me, हमेशा आपको ज्यादा ही मिलेगा. Okay, so this is the case. Okay, so area element, अगर आप उसको एरिया कह रहे हो तो आप एरिया कब कहेंगे? जब आपका डेप्थ स्मॉल रहेगा इन कंपैरिजन ऑफ इट्स डायमेंशन एज लेंथ एंड विड्थ, तभी उसको आप एरिया एलिमेंट करेंगे. और जब वो एरिया एलिमेंट बन जा रहा है ऑब्वियसली उसका इन प्लेन स्टिफनेस ज्यादा ही रहने वाला है एंड आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस कम रहने वाला है. क्लियर? नाउ why I have taken this point here, try to understand in plane stiffness and out of plane stiffness. So my dear friend, when you are going to consider the membrane element, for the concern of the membrane element, or while we are going to consider the membrane element, it means that we are not going to consider the out of plane stiffness of the slab. Now you will be in confusion. See, यहां पर क्या है, आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस पहले से बहुत कम है, मिनिमम है इन कंपैरिजन ऑफ इट्स इन प्लेन स्टिफनेस, एज यू ऑल एग्री विद दिस. सो यहां पर आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस बहुत कम है. जब आप मेम्ब्रेन एलिमेंट चूज करते हो इन दैट सिचुएशन योर आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी कंसिडर. आपका आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस नहीं कंसिडर किया जाता है. मीन्स whatever the load you are going to apply, your slab is not going to bear that load. जो भी लोड आप इसके ऊपर लगाते हो वो बियर नहीं करता है, दैट ऑल लोड इज गोइंग टू बी ट्रांसफर टू द सपोर्टिंग मेंबर। क्या करेगा वो, सारा के सारा लोड सपोर्टिंग मेंबर को ट्रांसफर कर देता है। दिस इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ योर मेम्ब्रेन एलिमेंट। मेम्ब्रेन एलिमेंट कोई लोड कैरी नहीं करता है, द मेम्ब्रेन एलिमेंट इज गोइंग टू ट्रांसफर योर लोड टू द सपोर्टिंग एलिमेंट। Why? Because the out of plane stiffness of the membrane element is not going to be utilized. आपका जो थोड़ा सा स्टिफनेस है उसको हम यूटिलाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं। इट इज गोइंग टू बिहेव एज अ रिजिड वन। मेम्ब्रेन में ये जो स्पैन है ये रिजिड बिहेव करने जा रहा है, वो लोड कैरी नहीं करता है। नाउ फॉर बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ लोड कैरिंग एंड नॉट कैरिंग, सी you might have visited any old uh, building or any structure. You might have experienced the slab has some kind of curvature and deflection. Slab में deflection आता है कि नहीं आता है? Tell me आता है, correct है? You all are agree with this? Over the time you will find the deflection in the beam or deflection in the slab, so you will get the curvature on its ceiling. जब आप नीचे से खड़े होकर देखते हो ऊपर फ्लोर पर तो वो कर्वेचर दिखता है आपको। मीन्स in actual, can you tell me slabs are taking the load or not? स्लैब लोड कैरी करता है कि नहीं करता है? रॉन्ग, दोज हु आर सेइंग नो। अगर नहीं करता तो फिर वो डिफ्लेक्ट क्यों होता? आर यू गेटिंग माय? इफ इट इज नॉट कैरिंग देन व्हाई इट इज गोइंग टू डिफ्लेक्ट? अगर वो नहीं होता है तो फिर उसमें कुछ इंपैक्ट ही नहीं पड़ना चाहिए। if the slab is not going to carry any load, so there should not be any kind of deflection in that particular slab. But our observation is what? Slab is going to be subjected to deflection and going to form a curvature at its base, means it is going to carry the load. But what I am going to say in case of the membrane element में हम लोग उसकी आउट ऑफ प्लेन स्टिफनेस नहीं कंसिडर कर रहे हैं। मींस व्हाट एवर द लोड यू आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई, वो सारा का सारा लोड क्या कर देता है, सपोर्टिंग मेंबर को ट्रांसफर कर देगा। सो माय डियर फ्रेंड, द मेम्ब्रेन एलिमेंट इज नॉट गोइंग टू कैरी एनी लोड। सो if you are going to consider membrane element, so your observation is wrong. अगर आप मेम्ब्रेन एलिमेंट कंसिडर करेंगे so your observation is going to prove to be wrong. But in reality your member is going to carry the load, so there is a actually that behavior is going to be shown by your shell element. Shell element वो behavior response करता है. It means that the out of plane stiffness of the slab we are going to be consider, and when you are going to consider the out of plane stiffness of the slab, it is nothing but your shell element. Understood? इसमें इसका along the depth it is going to carry the load. वो क्या करता है, कुछ लोड कैरी करता है, मिनिमम लोड कैरी करता है, बट रेस्ट ऑफ द लोड इज गोइंग टू बी ट्रांसफर टू द सपोर्टिंग मेंबर। अगर आप बात करेंगे फ्लोर स्लैब की, सो इट इज गोइंग टू ट्रांसफर टू दी your going to transfer to the beam. Floor slab is suppose you are talking, and if you are talking about the foundation slab, so it is going to transfer the load to the subsoil. हमने पहले भी देखा है, फाउंडेशन इज नॉट फॉर कैरिंग द लोड, फाउंडेशन इज फॉर ट्रांसफरिंग द लोड। सो फाउंडेशन क्या करेगा, सारा लोड कर देगा ट्रांसफर सपोर्टिंग को। तो अगर 100% लोड ट्रांसफर करवाना है सपोर्टिंग सॉइल के ऊपर, तो कौन सा एलिमेंट चूज करेंगे? एंड इफ यू वुड लाइक टू कंसिडर द रियल बिहेवियर, एंड इफ यू वुड लाइक टू मेक the slab to carry some load and then rest load to be transferred to the subsoil, so which element you will take? जब आपको no load transfer करना है, sorry, when you want to transfer 100% load, so कौन सा member choose करेंगे? Very good, very good. Means it is the case of the rigid foundation membrane. You might have studied in your academic time in a geotechnical engineering, rigid foundation and flexible foundation. So rigid foundation will be shown by what? Membrane element. And flexible foundation is going to be shown by what? Yes, shell element. Is that clear? difference between membrane and shell. So my dear friend, I just want to have in respect of reality, which option you would like to choose, either shell or membrane? Very good. You all are suggesting to consider the shell element. So this is the difference between membrane, and this is the difference between your membrane and shell. So I have given all that theories here. आप इसको read करके आप अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हो। शेल एंड मेम्ब्रेन बहुत डीपली यहाँ पर मैंने इसको समराइज किया हुआ है। ओके, सो वी वुड लाइक टू सी द समरी ऑफ द स्टडी। देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ थ्योरी, मींस conceptual understanding, so not a very big data. So I would recommend just go through it once, membrane and shell. So whatever the things I have discussed in a more correct way, okay, I have explained in a very basic way, okay, for your understanding. But in a real concept, in a real definition, the membrane and shell are actually given here with an example. Okay, I have wrote these notes for your understanding, so you can I just recommend you all guys just read these notes once or twice. Okay, I will share these. If I forgot, then remind me. Thereafter, now have a look over this summary. Membrane element transmit the loads primarily through tension compression in the plane. Negligible bending stiffness means, as I told you, the membrane element is not going to carry any load. और जब वो carry नहीं करेगा, so there's no chances of bending, okay, in any of the direction. So that's have actually written here. Negligible bending stiffness, no bending is going to be happen compared to the membrane stiffness. Application: membranes fabric structures thin shells. Key difference: primarily in plane forces, it can carry the forces in plane direction only. Okay, now shell thin, for that the definition has given. For shell thick, for that the definition has given. So you can go through it on your own. Now overall the concept I have explained. Shell thick and shell thin, yeah, shell thick and shell thin is actually, it's based on your depth. Shell thick and shell thin is based on depth. Normally the range has given. Very interesting question were raised by Shri Nawaz sir. Shell thin elements, so thickness much smaller compared to the length and width, much smaller, very small in comparison of its length and width. क्या होता है, see, suppose you are going to consider the slab, floor slab. अगर आप floor slab की बात करेंगे, so commonly for our residential building, at least the average size of the rooms are actually 4 by 5 meter, or maybe less or more will be, but max to max will be what, 4 to 5, or 5 by 6, 6 by 7, around that. It is what varying. So 5000, I'm going to take it as 5000, 4000, and depth is what, 120 only. So in comparison of this 5000, 4000, your depth is much smaller. Normally residential building slabs are going to be satisfied. Residential floor slabs designs are going to be satisfied with 120 to 130 mm. क्या होता है, most of you are consultant, so they are knowing रेसिडेंशियल बिल्डिंग का स्लैब हमारा 120 टू 130 के रेंज में सेट हो जाता है. एम आई राइट और रॉन्ग? Are you all are agree? All the consultants? Okay. Imran, are you there? Yeah. So इसकी रेंज में क्या है हो जाता है. If suppose you are going to see for this range, so in comparison of 5000, 4000, your 120 and 130 is very small. So if depth is very small, you can consider a shell thin element. And here also the range also given. If the thickness is less than of L length by 10 or width by 10. Suppose I am taking this example. So 5000 divided by 10, it is going to become 500, and 4000 divided by 10, it is going to become 400. So tell me, will you consider for the floor slab as for the floor slab as shell thin element or shell thick element? Shri Nawaz, tell me what you will consider. That's why whenever you are going to deal any structure, especially for the superstructure with ETAP software, with any other software, so most of the consultants are choosing the shell, and in shell they are choosing the shell thin element. Understood? Yes. Now, for the when to consider the shell thick, so shell thick actually when the depth is slightly higher, so that range we are given, it is not the fixed one. It's all depends on your judgment. Thickness around or greater than 1/10 or width 10th, 1/10 of length and width. So as we have seen 500 L by 10 and 400 as width by 10. And see, just see here only you can, with our example, normally minimum depth of the slab we are considering as 450. Minimum depth of the slab we are considering as per the design, it is coming as 450, or always will be higher than of this. As you can see in our example, 500 and 600. So you tell me, will you consider it as thin or thick? Tell me, Srinivas. Yes, very good. So now I think you all got the answer. When to choose thin, when to choose thick, when to choose membrane, when to choose the shell. Clear? Okay. Now, overall, this is all done. Coming back to our discussion. So, as if suppose, see, shell thin, shell thick. So, you all are agree to choose the shell thick. That's why we are going to check it as shell thick. Now, when we are going to deal the floor slab in this CSI safe software only, at that time we will choose the shell thin. So, at that time you have to remember all this discussion. And now here footing option is slab, drop, stiffness, timely. I will explain these things also, but responses are almost same. So we are going to choose as footing, and the thickness we have to write here as first as 500. thickness हम लोग इसका क्या ले रहे हैं, 500. Now this is all done. Let's just simply say okay. One section for the footing has been added. Now another I can delete, इसकी जरूरत नहीं है. Now it's all done. Add new property, footing as 600 m, 20 grade of concrete. Now here again shell thick always we have to choose, don't do the mistake. Then it will be of footing, and size is what, 600, and let me say as it okay. That's it. So both of the sections is where added for the concrete foundation slab. Okay, now simply say okay, done. This is all. Okay, let me close this first. If I forget, then ask me to upload the membrane and shell difference file. Okay, now what to do, coming back to this so column section has been defined, footing section has been defined. What else? Yeah, soil property. As we earlier have seen, uh, in this CSI safe software we cannot model the soil. आप अगर सुपर स्ट्रक्चर देखते हो तो वहां पर आप देयर यू आर गोइंग टू मॉडल द बीम, कॉलम and slab, shear wall, all the elements are going to model. But when you come to talk about the substructure, so soil we are not going to model, we are going to idealize it, we are going to idealize it. So that all explanation I already have given. Okay, तो मैं उसको repeat नहीं करूंगा. So for as of now we have to define the soil subgrade property. So how you can define the soil subgrade property? To consider the behavior or strength of the soil स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द सॉइल को हम लोग आइडियलाइज करते हैं बाय स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट, एंड दैट स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट इज नथिंग बट योर सॉइल सबग्रेड मॉड्यूलस, एंड दिस सॉइल सबग्रेड मॉड्यूलस विल बी इक्वल टू योर pressure means your SBC of soil, okay, divided by allowable settlement. Okay, how you can calculate this SBC? SBC is how much? So that we have given kilonewton per meter square as 300. So that I am going to write here as 300 kilonewton per meter square. Remember this unit. Divide by allowable settlement. How much the allowable settlement is given? 25 mm. Have you can you recall with which method of exploration we set the maximum settlement limit as what? 25 mm. Have you remember? मैंने बताया था ये, that I have explained. Yes, plate load test. So it's the most common method of finding out the bearing capacity of the soil and allowable settlement, and also to finally finding out stiffness constant or soil subgrade modulus. So it is plate load test. So there we are going to load the soil up to a maximum settlement of 25 mm. So that's why normally for the shallow foundation, maximum settlement we are going to consider it as what? 25 mm. When we are going to see the soil investigation report in our real example project, there I will explain, there I will show you. So आपको soil investigation report में maximum allowable settlement मिल जाएगा. So as of now in our problem statement it is given as 25 mm. So that's why I'm going to write as what? 25 mm. 25 mm it is given, so we have to write is in meter, because above unit is in meter, so below also we have to write as in meter. So point not 25, 1 2 3, yeah, point not 25, 300 divided by, just give me the answer for this, give me the answer for this, how much it is. So okay, go to define, go to this. So three options are there: point spring, line spring, area spring. So it depends on your foundation element, means your foundation slab is of that is the contact surface with your soil. आपकी contact surface soil से कैसी है? It is by area contact surface, by points contact surface, or by line contact surface. Tell me, what is that? What is here? Area. That's why we need to define the, very good, you all are getting the concept, एरिया स्प्रिंग प्रॉपर्टी. सो यहाँ पर हम लोग डिफाइन करेंगे एरिया स्प्रिंग प्रॉपर्टी. सो वंस यू क्लिक ओवर दिस एरिया स्प्रिंग प्रॉपर्टी, okay, let me clear this all. Go to add a new property, and here okay, here also the logic to write the property, so that later on you can understand. SBC, what is this? 300 at the rate of 25 mm. What is this is the soil subgrade modulus, how I can define? So वो ये हमको मिल जाएगा. So I'm going to write as 300 divided by 0.25. You don't need to do the calculation outside, you can directly do it here. Say enter. Is it right? So by just looking at the name of the soil subgrade property, you can understand the SBC what was there, 300. What is the allowable settlement the engineer has considered? It is 25 mm. Understood? Yes or no? Okay, so it is all done. Let's just simply say okay. So property also has been what? Defined. Okay, one thing I missed to cover here. Always your soil will be in compression. You are going to impose the load over the footing. From the footing or from the foundation slab to the subsoil, the load is going to be applied. So soil will be under compression, remember. So choose it as always compression only, right? Then simply say okay, then say okay, that's it, then say okay. So the section properties for the, okay, material properties section. Now next, go to this section property. One thing is also there, reinforcing bar sizes. Suppose you would like to define wall section and any other section that I will explain timely, But as of now, what rebar sizes you would like to consider for the design and detailing? You will say that, sir, I don't want to go beyond of 20 diameter of bar. मैं ये प्रोजेक्ट में 20 के डायमीटर के बाहर यूज नहीं करूंगा. Actually, it depends on the design requirement, but at initial stage, if suppose you are going to set some limit, so for that, suppose I can use the 10 dia, I can use the 12 dia, I can use the 16 dia, and I can use the 20 dia. So all this diameter of bars we have to set there. So उसके लिए क्या करना है? For that reason, you need to go define. You need to go to section property and reinforcing bar sizes. Once you click over this, so all the default bar sizes are actually available. So I don't want to have all this. Clear this all. सबको क्लियर कर दीजिए ना. बार आईडी. सो सपोज आई वुड लाइक टू कंसिडर 10 डाया. व्हाट इज द एरिया ऑफ 10 डाया? यस, श्रीकांत, दैट आई विल एक्सप्लेन लेटर. 10 डाया एरिया इज नो 78.5. very correct. 78.5 square. And in centimeter square, how much it is? Divide by 100. So it is going to become 0.78. Is it right or wrong? 0.785. correct. 0.87, 0.785. Bar diameter. Now it is actually it is the id. You will say that, sir, we have given here as dia as 10. So it is the bar id, bar label. So we are giving it as 10 bar label, and actual dia is what? 10. Both these things always will be same. Wait for a minute. Wait for a minute. Yes, I'm audible. Okay, fine. So we are talking about defining the um, bar dia. Okay. So here is what? 10. Now suppose you would like to consider 12 diameter of bar. Make it as 12. For 12, area, unit bar area is what? 113 point I think 09. Check it. It is 113.09. Check it. Yes. So that we have to define here as make it as 1 point in it is in square. It is in what? Square. And we have the software is asking to write it in centimeter square. So divide it by 100. So you will get in centimeter square. So it is going to become 1.1309. Right. Now 16 diameter of bar is having the unit area 201 point what? Check it. 201 2.01. Okay, let it to be 201. So we can take it as 2.01. Right. Likewise, 20 diameter of bar is having the, okay, right here as 12 dia, here 16 dia, and 20 diameter of bar is what? 314. So 314 is going to become 3.14. 314 is in square. ये किस में है? Square में. So we want to convert it to in centimeter square. So that is going to become 3.14. That's it. And make it as what? 20. Done. Then say simply as okay. This is all done. So all the labels, all the respective area and actual dia is actually present here. This is the label and these are the dia. In respect of this dia, the area of the reinforcement, unit area of that particular dia bar in centimeter square. Don't write in square. People are actually, we are having the practice to write the values in square. So don't do that. It is asking in centimeter square. Otherwise your all calculation design result will be wrong because your input data is wrong. So for that reason, make it as what? Okay. Done. clear this all. Go to define section, go to the spring properties, all are what done, right? So yeah, it is all done. Just come back. What else we need to define? We have defined the soil subgrid modulus, we have defined the material property, we have defined the section property, we have defined the um we have defined the slab properties. All that we have done very well. Now this is all done. By tomorrow we'll finally start the modeling. Okay. Yeah, see, common bar set also we can go with okay, it is just for your understanding I have explained. अगर आप चाहते हो, if suppose you want to make the default proper default section, so you can say add common bar set, that was already present, वो पहले से present था. I have deleted that, I have shown how you can define it. That is my intention. Otherwise the default definition you can keep it, because we have chosen the Indian code and Indian practice. So accordingly, it is what showing the all the diameter of bars which is available in our area, and its a respective our country, and its a respective areas. So you don't need to do anything. But if suppose you want to short it, if you want to make specific for your consideration, then you have to adopt this practice. Understood? तब आपको करना पड़ेगा. शुभम. Okay, done. Thank you. Aditya, what you are asking, I'm not getting question. No, membrane element, in membrane element we don't need to do the meshing. Okay, concept of meshing and finite element analysis I will explain it later. It is coming in upcoming session. The discussion will be there in detail. Arun, where Aditya, where to define SBC in define menu? SBC is not needed to define. यहाँ पे हम आपको SBC कहीं define करने की जरूरत नहीं है. We are actually defining the spring property. We are defining the spring means modulus of subgrade reaction, that we have to define. So in here we need to have the SBC of the soil, subgrade modulus. यहाँ पे हम लोगों को SBC लगता है. ठीक है. Exactly, SBC आप कहीं define करने की जरूरत नहीं है. As I told you, in the software we don't have option to model the soil. सॉइल को मॉडल नहीं कर रहे. देखिए फाउंडेशन भी हम मॉडल करते हैं, कॉलम भी हम लोग मॉडल करते हैं. वी आर गोइंग टू मॉडल द बीम, slab, everything we are going to model, but we are not going to model the soil. So for that reason we are idealizing it with a spring response. So spring में क्या होता है? In case of the spring, what when you are going to apply the load, spring is going to be compressed. When you are going to removing the load, spring is get acquire its original shape. Likewise the soil is also going to experience the same nature. When you are going to apply the load, it is going to be compressed, and in a free case it is what attaining its it is regaining its original state. That is what sometimes happen. So that's why we are relating it with the spring, and uh, we are idealizing it with the spring. And for the spring constant we are taking as K. Likewise for the soil we are writing as you can say soil constant. Here is spring constant, you can call it as soil constant. And in actually we are going to call it subgrade reaction. इसको हम लोग subgrade reaction कहते हैं. Understood?